Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello, everyone. Just a second. Thank you for your patience. I'm just doing one single thing, and we will start the presentation immediately.
No problems.
Okay, well, I have to click a lot of times, many people attending. So grateful that this event is attracting so much attention. Okay, I think I have accepted everyone, and here, okay, prove again. So here we go. So it's going to take 1 hour, the whole presentation. We have two startups today disrupting longevity that will pitch to us. And I'm going to spend 5 minutes presenting the whole context, the foundation, 2060 Foundation, what we're working on, and then introduce the first startup and then the second startup. Continuing to click to accept people. Yeah, so there are two startups. Each one of them is going to pitch for 10 minutes and then have 10 minutes of question and answers. So thank to you all for attending. Hello, Varun. I see you here. I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm really happy that you're able to attend. So let's get going. I'm going to share my screen and show you the presentation of the foundation. Okay. So we here at the 2060 Foundation have this crazy purpose in life to defeat aging in a couple of decades before 2060. The earlier, the better. However, 35 years to succeed in that is not too much given how difficult this is and how many generations of human beings have tried to achieve this goal and weren't able to do so in the past. We really think that we are the first generation of human beings for whom defeating aging is an ambitious goal, yet attainable one. And if we execute well and we put the necessary resources into it. So this is what motivates us and which pushes us to like wake up in the morning and put a lot of energy into it. So a couple of things to know about the 2060 Foundation. First of all, it's a nonprofit. We are not looking for a profit in this foundation. Our purpose, again, is to defeat aging and to do it as quickly as possible. We have more than 200 members, not all of them full-time, but helping here and there. And our flagship project we're all working on right now is the 2060 Longevity Investment Club. What you're seeing here today is part of a component of this Longevity Investment Club. What we try to do is bring as many financial resources as possible into the field so that ambitious entrepreneurs and scientists have the means to do research in the field and disrupt the biology of aging. What we are also working on, which is also closely related to the community of investors, is a conference happening in the south of France on the 30th and 31st of August, which combines like a dream vacation you know, you have Monaco, you have Saint-Tropez, you have so many beautiful places around in the south of France. So we combine, you know, this dream vacation with meeting people in longevity, the best worldwide experts. We're even talking to some Nobel Prizes. We haven't yet had the official confirmation. But what I want to tell you is that we're aiming as high as possible, and we really want to showcase longevity as the best possible investment opportunity of modern times. So if you guys are interested to, again, combine some dream vacation with your family, with your kids, with also this longevity conference and meet fascinating people and learn about the last breakthroughs in biotechnology, please join the club. The website, if you want to have more information, is forum.2060.life, forum.2060.life. And again, I'm here to answer your questions if you have any after the meeting. So the 2060 Foundation is, as I told you, 200 members, but also a core team of fully operational members, which is myself, Max, Stephanie, Manish, and Luisa, coming from the entrepreneurship, from the biotech industry, from the software engineering, and from a medical background for Luisa. And of course, we have Brian Kennedy, who is supporting us, and he's our advisory board member. Many of you may have already heard of him. He's like a superstar in longevity. He has been director of the Buck Institute for many years, and afterwards has taken a job in the National University of Singapore, where he's leading the Department of Healthy Aging. So the structure of the meeting today is going to be, so as I told you, two startups. We've just done the presentation for the 2060 Foundation. Now we are going to discuss and let Nicolas Tubak introduce himself and pitch for 10 minutes. His startup is called Propion. And then we have 10 minutes of question and answers, and then Holisticare by Farzin Azami. And then again, 10 minutes of question and answers. And this should take no more than an hour. So that being said, let me stop sharing my screen, accept some additional people here who are waiting for me to accept them. So delighted that there's so many people. And we should have Nicola. Yes, Nicola, please. Nicolas, please go ahead. You can share your screen.
Great. Thank you, Gabriel. So I'm happy to introduce my company, Propion, aka How to Slow Time Incorporated. What Gabriel said just now about longevity being potentially the best investment opportunity of modern times, I think has not quite yet proved true for investors. And that's something that we're trying to change with our company. And also, unfortunately, a lot of longevity science out there isn't immediately translatable. It won't be accessible to you until you are much, much, much older. And so this is something that can be accessed immediately. So my co-founder, Dr. Daniel Weiner, who's been a pioneer in multiple fields of immunology, most recently collaborating with NASA to study how the immune system operates differently in space, believes that what I'm going to talk to you about today is a fundamental discovery on how we could change aging and divert multiple disease pathologies. So we've identified two natural molecules. These are gut bacterial metabolites. So they're what you would call postbiotics that could reshape the health industry. We call these molecules Propion 1 and Propion 2. These are trademark names, and they are not available on the market today. But because they are natural molecules, they could be commercialized in various forms as supplements. And so the data on these molecules shows that there is not really anything comparable on the market in terms of efficacy compared to what these molecules could accomplish. We're looking at natural molecules that could operate more like pharmaceuticals, which is basically creating an entirely new product category. So think about a drug that would need to be prescribed and the level of efficacy that you would need to see for heart disease, autoimmune disease, liver disease, NASH specifically, we can sell that as a consumer product. And so next financing will be used for going to market with two products. We have one fully developed. It's called Propion Blend, and this is a nutritional technology that gives your gut microbiome the precursor ingredients it needs to assemble these Propion molecules. And the second will be the Propion X pill, which is in development, and that will be the actual Propion 1 and Propion 2 molecules in an extended release capsule. And so key opinion leaders are backing this. Why? Because there is simply incredible data. So for example, the Propion 2 molecule extended a rotifer lifespan by 300%, the highest known achievement, life extension results of any study. And the Propion 1 molecule has recently been shown to be causally linked with reduced incidence of heart disease and fatty liver disease. So Propion Blend, we launched, did pre-sales, did our first manufacturing run with a manufacturer here in the United States. We licensed this from an inventor in Europe, who's the world expert in these molecules based on initial clinical data, an initial study that he did. And now we have substantial interest from B2B partners, including one who I spoke to this morning, who's interested in doing rollout throughout the United States and Canada. And most recently, we've been speaking with the largest MLM company in Asia that does over 5 billion in sales about launching this in South Korea. And so just briefly, I want to recognize that the supplement world has a lot of issues. And, we face a lot of pushback from investors because of this. Not pushback on our company, but simply just an unwillingness to become involved because a lot of biotech investors simply don't operate in the consumer product space. However, I believe, one, that's a counterproductive attitude. Instead of abandoning it altogether, we need to bring a new level, we need to bring a new standard to this industry, and that is what we can do. So instead of selling ingredients like all of the other longevity supplement companies out there, we are building a brand around trademarks and patents. We're building a key opinion leader brand around my co-founder, Dr. Daniel Weiner, and we are selling something that is completely new. So as of now, we have no competition, and we have intellectual property fencing that we'll have to protect it, but there's reason to believe why being the first mover in this market could really allow us to outperform what you traditionally think of as a supplement company revenue stream. So companies like the major Asian company, which I mentioned, and US-based company, which I mentioned, have spoken to us about licensing Propion Blend. That's what we're raising money to sort of execute on, is doing another follow-on study with this product. Some of these companies are also interested in actually doing studies with us. So if we do execute those deals earlier on, then we would pivot into developing the Propion X pill. And so just going off of my point that I was making a little bit earlier, the top is, not to belabor the point, but the top is what I currently think of as the longevity supplement industry. And the bottom is a representation of what we could accomplish. We could be a sort of natural equivalent of Ozempic, not the same in the weight loss world, although there's lots of data indicating we could help people lose lots of weight. But just something that is really publicly validated and endorsed. And so here's an example of why. A recent epidemiology study in over 400 people showed that the Propion 1 molecule, which is called indole 3-propionic acid, was linked to a 14% lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease by age 70. Levels of this molecule were almost equivalently as important as age and type 2 diabetes in terms of risk factor. And so this is the kind of thing where, we're not looking at pumping another lion's mane. We're actually looking at reintroducing an essential ingredient into the body that hundreds of millions of people are deficient in, where your investment turns into lives saved, including possibly your own. And it's as simple as that. So Propion Blend, doubled levels of this Propion 1 molecule. This is just one piece of data that we have. don't need to go too much into the demand. That's why we're all here, is because we understand the demand for something that could truly make a difference in people's lives. What I do want to talk about briefly is our intellectual property protection. So Propion Blend, the composition of that formula, it is a novel combination of ingredients, which act synergistically to yield higher levels of these molecules than would the different ingredients if given alone. Our relevant trademark protection is incredibly important. I did a survey asking people to read a paragraph about the molecules, including the full chemical names of the molecules, indole 3-propionic acid and indole propionamide. And every single person, after reading that paragraph, when unprompted, repeated back to me. I asked them what they remembered, and they said, I remember Propion 1 and Propion 2. And I said, do you remember the names of the molecules? They said, no, of course not. And so this is just another example of how the longevity industry is basically failing to connect with consumers and how we can do things very differently. We're also going to be filing IP on effective dose range of these molecules and an extended release formulation. And then we'll be going into a pet care vertical. So that gets me into the pet care vertical topic, gets me into the trajectory of this company. So Propion Blood launch is just the beginning. That is going to be a licensing model product. And then we'll be developing the Propion X pill. We're going to be going into skincare. We've spoken with a couple of major skincare companies who've shown interest in working with us. And then obviously there's, ripe opportunity for working with Mars or Nestle to get this in cats and dogs. And then we also have provisional IP on an early phase pharma asset, which we'll be looking to co-develop with a big pharma company. And so the ultimate goal being to get acquired by GSK, Roche, or J&J, basically a medical company with a major consumer product division and pharma division, somewhere between 2030 and 2032. So there's a lot more science. In fact, there's too much for anybody. It's taken me years and years to digest, and a lot of it is actually really new. And so we're looking forward to getting into this with you. This is a company that's going to change the world. If you're an investor looking for legacy, if you're an investor looking for health returns starting today, then please reach out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicola, for the presentation. I'm going to be the icebreaker with the questions because most of the time people are a little bit shy. So my question is very, very straightforward. How much are you going to raise and what are you going to do with the money? Can you do a general overview of how you're going to use the money?
Sure. We're raising between 500,000 and $1 million to do basically three things. One is a decentralized study on the Propion Blend product. So we're going to create sort of an interactive marketing campaign that involves sponsoring people taking the product and testing their biomarkers to get, a very robust data set. Other aspect is team expansion. We need to expand a couple of team members. Right now, we raised pre-seed capital, and I'm the only full-time person. So we sort of now that we have an actual product that's fully developed, and we're in multiple licensing talks. We have new products that we want to develop. Like, we need to expand our team. And the other is we're going to bootstrap sales of Propion Blend ourselves as well, to just sort of increase the overall licensing value of that product. And then a couple, we'll be doing some in vitro studies with like our pharma molecule that'll cost around 10 to 15K because we have a medicinal chemist, right? Just like do the early pharmacology there to really de-risk that asset a little bit. Recently I've spoken to some very interested parties where if the pharmacology turns out right, then that could be a major revenue angle.
Thanks, Nicola, for clarifying the point. Ashish has a question.
Hi, very nice talk. Nicholas, can you talk some more details about which kind of scientific experiments you have run on these formulations, and if on model organisms or if you have already run some human clinical trials, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure. So we licensed Propion Blend from the world. So Propion Blend is a tryptophan diversion technology. Tryptophan is the amino acid precursor to these gut metabolites. 95% of tryptophan gets metabolized by the host. Around 2 or 3% gets metabolized by the gut bacteria. I believe that's right. Yeah, less than 3%. And that number goes down with aging and disease. And so what the other ingredients in the blend do is they route tryptophan towards the gut bacteria and block metabolism by the host. That's what makes the combination proprietary. And we've tested that. The original inventor tested that in a 57-person trial showing that in people over 60, the blend substantially increases circulating levels of these beneficial gut metabolites, and also demonstrated in that study a number of secondary endpoints, including improved duration of slow wave sleep, which is a big deal for a lot of people over 50, reduced inflammation, and improved recall in a short-term memory test. And that was placebo-controlled, so there were 30 intervention subjects and 27 people taking whey protein.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, someone else?
Glad my presentation was so good that nobody has any questions except for
No, I do have questions,
Totally.
but I'm just
Please.
trying not to monopolize the time
Yeah.
and the space. So, okay, I will ask my question, and then Alexander is going to ask his question. What's the valuation of your company? How do you, or do you want to do convertibles, or what kind of shape do you want to take?
Yeah, so we're raising that 500 to million through safe notes. The first 100,000 is going for, I think, which I have somebody soft circled for, at least most of. The first 100,000 is going at a 5.1 post money, and then the next 400,000 is a 7.5, and the 500 after that will be at a 10.
And do you have a discount also in addition to the cap?
Yeah, 15% discount on all of this.
15% on all of this. Okay. Thanks for clarifying this point. Alexander, please go ahead. You have a question.
Yes, thank you, Gabriel. Nicholas, thanks for the presentation. I have one question to follow up on Ashish's around all the organisms and studies. You mentioned the lifespan study in the rotifer's, where you saw 300% increase in lifespan, right? Was that average lifespan or maximum lifespan?
That's a fantastic question. That was maximum lifespan increase. I think the average was somewhere around 220%, and it was dose dependent.
Okay. And have there been studies done in any, let's say, this is not the correct term to use, but more advanced model organisms? Let's say any studies in mice that have looked at lifespan. So
there have not been lifespan specific studies. There have been like one study in mice, for example, demonstrates like average mortality in septic infection, right? So mice with higher levels of these gut metabolites are substantially more likely to survive and live full lives after severe septic shock and recover fully. Lifespan studies are unfortunately limited, but studies, it's sort of funny you say that, because the actual lifespan studies, no, but studies with everything that has to do with lifespan, like every disease that causes a shortening of lifespan, yes, there have been studies in all of those models.
So essentially, there's plenty of health span studies,
yes,
but no lifespan studies.
Other than that one which I mentioned, correct.
And sorry, last question. Do you intend at any point to do your own lifespan studies in mice or any other organism, potentially a mammal, that could give more confidence in whether that would translate to humans?
That's definitely in the near future. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dan, you have a question.
Yeah, thanks for recognizing me. Base mechanism of action of the molecule combination sounds to me a lot like it's an autophagy promoter based on the benefits that we're seeing on the backside. Can you give us any more information on mechanism of action?
Yeah, so I would not call it an autophagy promoter. These molecules do not fall in the senolytics category. They work through so there are three mechanisms of action at play. The first is that these are the most powerful endogenous antioxidants in the body. So everybody knows what melatonin is. But what most people don't know about melatonin is that it actually evolved in single cell organisms before it had any role in the mammalian sleep cycle as nature's original way to protect against DNA destabilization from UV radiation. So these molecules are substantially more potent antioxidants than melatonin. And what's different about them from other antioxidants is they have no pro-oxidant activity. So you can see the skincare angle now. Vitamin E, vitamin C, these molecules are putatively antioxidants, but have substantial pro-oxidant activity. In a comparative study with this Propion 1 molecule compared to like glutathione, in an oxidative stress model, there's basically no comparison between what these molecules are able to accomplish in glutathione. So that's one mechanism of action. Highly neuroprotective, highly cardioprotective. And then the other mechanisms are nuclear receptors that are in immune cells and also line the epithelial. The epithelial barrier of the intestine, skin, and liver. So these are the aryl hydrocarbon receptors and the pregnane X receptor.
Thank you.
We have the time for a last question. If anyone has one question, otherwise I do have one. Yes. Nicholas, what is the risk of taking this supplement before it is fully validated, like in 2031, what you have already specified?
What I like to say to this is, we certainly know that the side effect of not taking the supplement is death. So we can all be sure about that. But no. We have no reason to believe that there would be any substantial side effects. There's actually a phase 1 trial done with the Propion 1 molecule, right? Like this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a molecule that would normally be pursued by pharmaceutical companies for its therapeutic properties, but because it's naturally occurring, like pharma just won't touch it, really. Or I mean, they have and have subsequently abandoned it because there's just not enough pharma opportunity there. But there was a phase 1 clinical trial with the Propion 1 molecule at escalating doses that showed no adverse side effects. So, we expect it to be very safe. And also one of the interesting facets of the science at play is that these molecules are basically so protective that so for example, like in an open liver injury, like I wouldn't want somebody with like an open liver injury to take these molecules. However, they may be abrogating all of any negative side effects from activating the PXR receptor. So like you don't want to overactivate PXR is basically what I'm saying. That can lead to liver toxicity, but at the same time, they're also so protective that you may nullify any of those effects.
Understood.
So I wouldn't want to take like the whole bottle at once, basically. That's sort of, yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Makes sense. So thank you very much, Nicholas. So we are going to jump to the presentation of the second startup. Of course, again, everything, all the contact information is going to be shared with you guys, and the presentation also from Nicholas. So if you want to reach out to him and invest, just keep us updated. We're going to be more than happy. But again, this is your business and Nicholas' business. So this being said, let's get to the next startup. Fardin, Please go ahead. You can share your screen and you have 10 minutes of presentation.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. My name is Farzin, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Holisticare. Holisticare empower personal coaches with holistic health plan, preventive and scalable. Uh, let me, yeah. The fact is the individual are increasingly prioritizing holistic and preventive health, developing habits, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle in affordable value. The personal trainer and health coaches problem is although they believe this holistic approach can improve the result of their plan, they face two different problems. Actually, lack of knowledge is one of the problems that they have because they don't have enough knowledge about every different pillar of the health. And also, the regulatory barrier is very important because they cannot analyze the biomarker, they cannot go for any other intervention outside their expertise. Our solution helps personal trainer offer holistic health plan. Actually, they can offer longevity services because we provide longevity as a service for them, so they can keep their client engaged and regularly monitoring them and support habit building in their community. How it works? Actually, Holisticare, our platform, can do the health assessment and provide a holistic wellness plan around all the pillar of the health. It's regulatory compliance, and because we have a practitioner in the loop, we use local practitioner and we have lab integrations. The personal trainer has a application in their mobile or tablet or desktop that can be empowered by longevity services we provide. They can monitor and manage their client by AI, and they can encourage their clients to use for the blood test and genetic tests and different type of the test. And for the clients, they can connect their wearable, they can be stayed in touch with their coaches and can order different type of the test inside the application and enjoy the holistic plan, the analysis, and the holistic plan in all the aspects, and regularly check in and get feedback from the personal trainer. Who knows the best about the human body? The longevity clinics. And who is the most closest person to the people actually is the personal trainer. Our technology is trying to democratize the services. Actually, the services of longevity services are the questionnaires, lab tests, full body analysis, bioclock analysis, holistic lifestyle, about diet, exercise, sleep, mental, and other aspects, and the longevity supplements, and also the longevity clinics provide diagnosis and treatments. And the most, we believe, most impactful services that are available right now is changing lifestyles, but tailored for each person. So we try to democratize except the diagnosis and treatment because of the regulatory in that area, and we provide it. And who is the best option for building habits. That is very most important in the changing lifestyle. Our personal trainers. Our core team is myself as a CEO. I have a PhD in engineering, and I've been an entrepreneur for 19 years. Lots of experience in developing companies, and fully committed to this startup right now. All of us are London-based, full-time, and our CTO, Mr. Kargar, has a AI master in AI, 15 years experience in development, and 7 years in to being CTO. And Mona, my sister, is our business developer, has a great experience in networking and marketing. We dedicate all of our life in entrepreneurship, and right now we are fully dedicated to this startup. We have a great team as an advisory board and a team of 6 that's with the AI, with power of the AI, we are acting like a team of 15 people right now. We are on top of all the AI tools that actually our startup also are on top of that. We had some tractions regarding successful pilot with some longevity clinics in the UK and in Dubai. We had a B2B health assistant API from the core AI tools that we have with a startup in the US. We had some acceleration program at NatWest, Google Cloud, and other, and also Innovate UK, RTO Catapult. We have our demo, we have the MVP right now, specialized for the practitioner to do the assessment very fast by AI, to generate the report and generate the holistic plan very fast. And why now? It's the best time for going for these type of tools. One of them is technological advancement. Because of recent AI advancement, it is easy right now to analyze biomarker based on the documents that are credible. We have built a knowledge graph on top of for the brain of our system. Raising health consciousness, actually many people, not just old people, many people, even younger generation, are seeking personalized wellness solutions right now. And a new market niche is emerging, the growing demand on preventive health systems led to emerge a new field in healthcare, such as functional medicine and health coaching, actually. A health coaches that who can provide a holistic approach to the health. So the market size of the overall health and wellness is quite big and is growing with a good rate. The business model is subscription fee for the personal trainer and commission for encouraging their clients to use the longevity services inside the app. The competition, it's not really hard competition because all the competitors are focusing on managing personal trainers, clients. Some of them are trying to use AI, but even though we use AI, we also use longevity as a services inside our application. And the other type of our competitor are longevity services that are very deep for clinics. The go-to-market strategy for us is the niche market that I mentioned, the emerging demand for, many personal trainer, nutritionists, wellness clinics right now are going for having a longevity style in their plan. Actually, they know how it is important for them. And the strategic channel that we have is direct sales. For now, we co-founders will sell directly our product, and the other type of the marketing tools also available. We have our product demo on YouTube. You can check it. And the fundraising round is $500,000. We are eligible for SEIS, and we have runway. We are self-funded, and we can continue with the same pace for next 12 months. But if we can have this investment, we can close this investment round. We can continue for 18 months with the higher pace. Actually, use of fund is most of them goes for the development, some of them for marketing and operational expenses. Yeah, finished. Any question? Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the presentation. Again, I guess I'm going to be the icebreaker, and then leave some space for the other people, investors here. My question is, personal trainers, as you said, some of them are nutritionists, some of them are health coaches, some of them are fitness trainers, but most of them don't have the knowledge for longevity. They only know that specific point where they are coaches. How do you deal with that?
Actually, because of that, we have some samples some examples of demonstrating the effect of biomarker on different lifestyle. Actually, when you have specific biomarkers in the questionnaires, in blood samples and the genetic samples, and it could affect actually on the plan of your life, exercise, diet, supplement. And when you improve that, for example, diet, sleep, and supplement, or use a better plan for exercise, even the exercise plan would be better. The main health plan could be improved by knowing and analyzing the biomarkers. So personal trainer can encourage their clients to buy these kind of services inside the app. So they can buy a lab test, and after taking the test by the client, the information goes to the holistic our platform. Inside our platform, we analyze it and provide a holistic plan for the personal trainer and for the client. Actually, both of them can see the plan, so personal trainer can continue their exercise plan, aligned with our plan, aligned with the holistic plan that we provide. The holistic plan is some higher level of the plan for the exercise. So he can generate, personal trainer can generate action plan based on the holistic plan inside the app easily, inside his app actually. And also the other aspects of the health, other pillar go to client directly.
Okay, my question was specifically, do you train the trainers in longevity somehow?
Some of them, they have some knowledge, but we provide the suggestions for the clients that it's better, for example, you to use NAD plus or other supplement inside the longevity science actually, and we can provide the supplement inside the application. They can buy it inside the application, and the trainer, personal trainer, can collect the commission from their clients actually. So they can encourage their clients to have this kind of services inside the application, and we believe that these kind of services can improve the main plan that the personal trainer they are already on that.
I understand. So business-wise, you're using the trainers as a sort of resellers for the different services, longevity-related services that you have on the platform, right?
Right, is it correct? But actually, the main application of the platform for personal trainer are managing their clients. Their clients can be managed by a simple app because there are some other competitor in this area. But when we provide this kind of competitive advantage, it could be much more competitive.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Anyone, any questions? Okay, so yes, so I do have an additional question. What's the pricing of, like the order of magnitude of pricing? I understand that the trainer is going to pay you, right? Not the end customer.
Yeah, the trainer, the subscription model is for trainer, per personal trainer, is something like 30 pounds per month to manage their clients, and also they can collect commission from selling their product, longevity product and longevity services. And the client should pay for the extra services that they want inside the application. Maybe some of them order some lab tests or genetic tests or blood tests or analysis, or maybe some of them order some supplement, some longevity supplement. So they should pay inside the application for that kind of services, that kind of product. So also personal trainer can collect the commission from each client's purchases.
Okay, still keeping asking questions, but if anyone raises their hand, I will let you ask your own question. Yes, my question was related to trainers. Yes, no, sorry, to the legislation. So there are different countries where you don't have the right to purchase and to do specific tests. I'm talking about something that I know very well. In France, for example, you don't have the right to sequence your genome, which is totally crazy, but the law is as it is. How do you deal with the different laws in the different countries? As I first understand, your application is worldwide, right? So you're dealing with virtually all the countries in the world.
You're asking about the regulation about,
Yes.
for example, DNA sequence.
Yes.
We didn't research a lot around this area, but we will be compatible with different law in different countries because we have to have a partnership with the labs and the distributor for different services. We don't go for the lab test and any other, but there are some international labs in different areas. For example, even in microbiome tests or genetic tests that they are not very popular as blood tests. There are many international labs that definitely compatible with the laws, and I'm not knowledgeable, I think, in this area.
Okay, thanks. Natalia, please go ahead.
Yes, hi. Very interesting startup. Do you have any portion of your technology algorithm already patented, or any IP rights, anything?
Not yet, but we are trying to, because in this area, developing different type of AI agent is really competitive, and we are not on top of the technology right now because any top AI companies like OpenAI, DeepSeek, and many different companies are trying to do that. So having a patent on around that is really hard, but our AI agent that we use the different models to build the knowledge graph in the longevity science. So it is a valuable asset for us because we had some collaboration with different longevity clinics. So we know for example, Mayo Clinic documentation or Harvard Health documentation or many documents that are credible for many scientists. So we collect them, we organize them, and we consume them with our knowledge graph. So we have so we can use the knowledge graph to analyze and provide a tailored analysis for each person based on their condition, because any chronic diseases or medication that they take is really important to provide a holistic plan for them.
Okay, thank you. I had another question on, we talked about patents. Sorry, just, yes, about biomarkers, and which technology do you use for body scans? How do you want to work about it? Where people actually can make their body scans, and which technology are you working on already? Is it Tanita, InBody, or something else?
We don't use any device for body scan. We just refer them to the lab, to different lab. So the lab provide the biomarkers for us. We analyze the biomarkers based on the documents.
And in terms of entry barriers, any other company who is, or anybody else interested in AI and longevity, they can copy you very quickly, or what would be your entry barriers into the space?
Actually, having this type of, we have two competitive advantage right now. One of them building a knowledge graph around the longevity. It's not quite easy to have it. And the second one is the business model that we are trying to democratize that. The barrier is something like 1.5 to 2 years for others to reach out in this point that we have. It's not too long for.
Okay.
It's really hard to have a startup to have a longer than this time period.
And what's your evaluation today? Maybe that's Gabriel kept this question, but evaluation looking today, and when did you start? Basically, what was your journey to today in terms of funding?
Actually, we started our company 2 years ago. This startup 1.5 years ago, and we just started our fundraising. We haven't do that. We are negotiating for 100,000 right now with an angel, and the valuation of the company is not a official valuation, but we did some DCF and other methods that are available for us. It's something like between 3 to 5 million total, but it's negotiable. It's not rigid because we are not experts in valuation.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. I'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Yes, Carl, please go ahead.
Hi, Farzan. Thank you for the presentation. One of the things, one of the things I try to filter out of your presentation is what is your competitive advantage? I think Natalie kind of touched on it on IP, but having IP is one thing, but in terms of your moat or your company, because I'm in the U.S. and there are longevity clinics here in the U.S. and I even have friends gone to them, and so I'm trying to find out what is you bringing to the table that would trigger myself or other VC to put in the capital, because that's what I try to find out from your presentation.
So you are talking about our competitive advantage that we have in comparison to who?
Well, what's out in the market? Like what's out there in the market? Because I think you're a clinic, right? You're a longevity clinic. And there are longevity clinic in the US too. And so I'm trying to find out with the investment that you're asking, what is the competitive advantage that you have to trigger someone, a VC, an angel investor, just like, okay, I'm willing to, put the risk and help you scale, grow your, because a lot of clinics are either franchise or once you build 7 or something, then you start, looking to franchising. So, what is your business model that causes scalability that causes investor to invest? And that's what I'm trying to, understand clearly.
Why you? Basically, why Holisticare?
Actually, the longevity clinics around the world is not our competitors because they provide a luxurious services in person with many treatment plan, many diagnoses, many doctors and practitioners are serving people inside the longevity clinics around the world. It's very expensive, and also they cannot scale easily. But what we provide is not a longevity clinic. It's a longevity as a service, something like a software as a service, longevity as a service. We may use their services inside our application. The practitioner inside the Holisticare could be a longevity clinic that provide this kind of analysis that we can help them to provide it easily. Actually, we don't have any conflict with them, so we don't assume them as a competitor. But maybe we disrupt their services actually because we think the main area that they can touch is the lifestyle. The main effect that they have in their client life is changing their lifestyle, and actually changing the lifestyle is building habits, and building habits is not gonna happen in 1 session, 2 sessions. It should be done by someone, some coaches beside you that can meet you every day or every week at least to track you easily. Tracking with a longevity clinic is very expensive. That's some doctors track you every week. It's really expensive. But building habits is really important in increasing the lifespan. For example, correcting the habits in sleep, in diet, in exercise. These are the main area of longevity that we can focus. We cannot go for example, some prestigious, some luxurious intervention that they provide, like stem cell therapy and like other therapy that they provide. But we don't assume them as a competitor. So we reduce the price a lot So for example, they can sell a personal trainer can sell a package of something like 200, 100, 200, 300 pound or USD to their client, and they can receive a holistic approach to the health.
Okay, guys. Time's running up. I hope, Carl, you get your answer. But please feel free to reach out to Farzin and discuss further if necessary. I hope you found that interesting, the two startups, and the opposite for you guys who have presented. You have here potential investors for your ventures. See you in a couple of weeks. We have two different startups that are going to pitch and so on. So I'm looking forward to meeting you again. And eventually on the 30th and 31st of August, if you want to meet in person all these people and like shake hands and be a little bit less virtual and more in real life, it's going to be a great opportunity. And again, it's the south of France, so it's one of the best longevity-friendly places in the world. Thank you again, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.